cut somebody, because that cut me. I used to be about to stand on the issues. But rather in standing in the right place with the outcast and those relegated to the margins. That's where Jesus is. Are you going to stand with Jesus? Are we going to stand with Jesus, or are we going to stand on our high horse? And I'll close with these words from Leo Tolstoy, from a short story I have not read, but I'm intrigued now that I read the title, Where Love Is, God Is. He writes, love is life. Everything that I understand only because I love. Everything exists, only because I love.
It is absolutely, yeah, God rocks. It's amazing how God works, because he took the water. Hey, can I have that one? Your water before you go away, so you can get another one. We're going to be a little bit brief here because the vendors are showing up, but there's a couple of things I want to cover. First of all, reaching the oppressed. I took a second to meet the group over here, Bikers Against Child Abuse, and what they do is they go and, for a child who's been abused and it's been reported, they go and they become surrogate parents for this abused child. And they hang out and make sure that he's got a buddy, and they actually are founded by I think it said a clinical social worker. Let's see here. Anyway, it seems like a great program. They go in and they kind of adopt these kids and take care of them. So reaching the oppressed is huge. Whether it be, the child's with their mom or their dad, they stand in, they go to court with them, they hang out with them. That was one piece that I really wanted to get through. The other piece was, it was interesting, Paula and I just watched a movie yesterday, and this talk about forgiveness and justice and doing what is right. The movie, I think it was called The Ocean Between Us, and it was about a similar story to Bob, but not quite as extreme. A baby had washed up on the shores of a lighthouse, and the lighthouse keeper and his wife were unable to have their own baby, and here was this boat with a dead man in it and an infant child, and they adopted the child, and several years later they discovered that the mother of this child lived on the mainland and was quite distressed about missing her child. And it was really kind of a good movie. I don't want to give any of it away, but this quote came out of it yesterday that stuck in my head when it popped up, and I'm like, well, that's amazing. I guess I might use that one day at church, and here it is the next day. And the quote was this: the man that this lady had married who lost her child, she was turned away from her wealthy dad because they didn't like him, because he was German. And he wasn't what the family expected. So she said, well, I'm going to marry him. And he said, and the dad said, well, if you do, then you'll not do it with my money and my wealth, and you'll not do it with my blessing or support. And she married him anyway. And the whole time they were married and having their baby, she was like angry with her parents, and the husband was like, man, I'm going to just forgive him and forget about it. And she said, how can you do that? And his response is what got me. He said this. He says, when you forgive, you do it once, and it's done. But to hold a resentment takes a lot of work. You'll hold it all day, every day. And that's an awful lot of work. He says, it's much easier to forgive and be done with it. Isn't that a great quote? Forgive and be done with it. So I got to talk about that. I want to be brief and fill in the blanks here, and then we're going to get the four-wheelers off the parking lot because the vendors are showing up. But let's fill in your blanks. Young Solomon recognized the magnitude of his calling. 12 years old, Israel had grown in population and in prominence, was becoming quite an important country. The people needed a just and competent ruler, so they brought in a 12-year-old, wouldn't we? Doesn't make sense, but God's chosen ones are different. The new king humbly acknowledged his inadequacy. At 12 years old, he lacked insight and experience. He didn't have an education in legal matters, and he asked God for an understanding heart. And I think the way he handled that situation with the two ladies and their baby was quite impressive. Jonathan ministered to David in his hour of need. He traveled to David's forest hideout. He encouraged him in the Lord, and Jonathan risked his life for his friend. That sounds like a piece that maybe was left over from last week. But let's get to justice. Justice, according to Jesus, is about setting people free. Forgiveness. Forgiveness. And what I've found in my life is I was driving down the highway and I was listening to this study on forgiveness on the radio. And I was like, well, I've forgiven a whole bunch of people. I'm done. But here's what God spoke to my heart. He says, have you asked them to forgive you? Whoa. Have you asked them to forgive you? And get honest about maybe how you might have wounded them and you've been holding grudges long enough. Yeah, well, I forgave them. I'm not thinking about it. Yeah, but how are they? Have you asked them to forgive you was a giant step in my life. And it was like being set free again. He gives to the undeserving. This is the way Jesus gives and God gives. He lifts up the downtrodden and he accepts the unworthy. How are we about looking at those people? I'm going to hit those people again. It's been a while. Those people. Well, I don't know who those people are to you, but those people might be the ones that you don't want moving in next door. Those people might be the one that you don't want hanging around your truck when you got valuables laying in the back of it and you wonder what they're up to. Those people are the ones you don't want dating your daughter or your son. Who are those people now in your life? And why do we have such a difficult time accepting those people? The people that make us uncomfortable, that you want to push away because they bother you, may be the ones who need love more than anybody. The vicious one who's spewing poison and hatred is usually the most wounded. That's what I've discovered. So let's do the timeout for the trip in, and then I got a couple of housekeeping things, and maybe we'll end on. You want to still do the 2 songs, Mark, or okay? So the timeout for the trip in. This is written in the first person for you to think about what you do. What do I think of when I hear the word justice? What does that mean to you? Write some notes down. Is it based solely on cold, hard facts, or is there something more involved? How about this? Is my justice based on what I know is good and right and true only? Or am I open to other opinions? And if you're having a struggle with that, I say it all the time. We got 1 mouth and 2 ears. If you're praying for 5 minutes, listen for 10. God's got something to tell you. It's my experience. God always has something to tell me. So let's do a little bit of housework here. First of all, don't everybody send me texts and emails and messages that the website is down because I know it and I can't figure it out. If somebody knows how to work in WordPress, I really could use a hand with it. I don't know how to get our website back up and running. It's just a syntax error of some kind. And when I call GoDaddy, they want $99 a month to maintain our website, and I can't do that. So that's that. And the other thing is, many people are asking, where is the Roadrunner Travel Resort? So for local people, we call it Airport Road. For non-local people, it's called St. Lucie Boulevard. It's north of town. Take a left, go past the airport, and it's on your right. I'll have signs out before next week. All right, let's get the praise team up here while I finish the prayer. And there is communion up front here. Miss Doris, stand up and wave because there she is. Communion's available up front. Come on up, praise team. Heavenly Father, Lord, again, we ask the safety on all the bikers, all the vendors, all the workers, all the staff. We ask your safety on people coming and going today. We ask your blessing on this event. We ask that this fundraiser would be hugely beneficial to the bikers against child abuse. Father, we ask forgiveness for those who are abusers. We ask healing for those who have been abused. And we ask for love for those who are there to comfort them, that we would love the way you loved us, totally unconditionally, without expectation. Father, for all that you do in our lives, we ask you to continually lead us in love. It's amazing, again, how God works. This song right here works right into it. It's amazing how James Taylor wrote this, and we really didn't change any words. But listen to the words. It's cool. It talks about being phony.
team over there.
Nobody else is singing. Go.
That's right.
I think it's got a long intro, doesn't it?
No, it's got a short one.
No, it's got a long blank.
Oh.
You can play a game and you can act out a part, though you know it wasn't written for you. But tell me, how can you stand here with your broken heart, ashamed to play in the fool? One thing can lead to another. It doesn't take any sacrifice. Oh, father and mother, sister and brother, if it feels nice, don't think twice. Shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Things are gonna work out fine if you only will. What you gotta do is shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Things are gonna be much better if you only will. You can run, but you cannot hide. This is widely known. And tell me what you plan to do with your foolish pride when you're all by yourself alone. Once you tell somebody the way that you feel, you can feel it begin to ease. I think it's true what they say about the squeaky wheel, always getting the grease. So shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Things are gonna work out fine if you only will. If you only will. Shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Things are gonna be much better if you only will.
Shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel.
You got to
Shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel.
Why don't you
Shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel.
Why don't you
Shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel.
You get to
Shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel.
All right, I'm going to play Star for a minute and throw everybody off the stage. This one, I like to end on a rocker, especially for HoggWild, and this one is a rewrite of Locomotive Breath. Yes, we're doing Locomotive Breath, Jess Rotel, at church. And I know Mark's going to hit it with the effects. I just know it because that's the way he do. You will too. This one's for the staff here at Archie's because it gets crazy. And it seems like things just get going busier and busier and busier, and I want to just give them peace in their heart for this event and help them find some rest. I hope it works. It's only one person you count on for rest. all the shuffling madness, Lord, I need your breath. I'm feeling like I'm losing, and I am so distressed. Well, I feel my strength is waning, sweat's breaking on my brow. Lord, I know you hold the handle, but my brain it won't stop racing, no way to slow down. Yeah, I feel I need to jump off. I'm spinning way too fast, and Lord, I don't know how long my whole strength will last. Yeah, I'm crawling down the corridor, and I'm on my hands and knees, and I pray, dear Lord, please save me, 'cause my life it won't stop racing, no way to slow down. Silent hours I spend in prayer with you. I trust your spirit in me to show me what to do. Lord, I'm picking up your Bible. Yeah, you said it was your word, and the world it goes on racing. Now my life is so much better now that you're my Lord. Yeah, now that you're my Lord. 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 Yeah, now that you're my Lord. All right, y'all. Thanks for coming out to Reach Church at Archie's. Let's clear the four-wheelers off the parking lot. Be safe on your way out, all you comings and goings. And come on back for HoggWild. And there's a killer band for the after party, too, I hear. I think they're called Therapy. They start at 5 till 9, but Wired's going to be on stage today. I think they flipped the I and the E or something. I thought they were called Weird. Now, my buddy Mike Giz over there is his band, Wired, for the day. Thanks for coming out. Be blessed. Yes, we are.
We're going to have your attention. We need all vehicles out of the parking lot, please. All vehicles out of the parking lot.